Good morning. Morning. What's up?
I'm good. What's up with you?
Shall we did?
Yes,
Like
holiday,
we
but
did.
we day.
Yeah.
We won't help you.
You want me to talk about the Public Holiday Act?
No, please, let's not talk about the Public Holiday Act. Let's not talk about that. Okay, let me give you something to talk about.
Wonderful.
And that will be the front. But before that, please, let me just do this. Francis Frimpong of Barclays Bank. Yesterday, I made sure I was bashing on Total. And Francis, have a great day. I know that you're enjoying your holiday. As I told you yesterday, I'm here. Serving you and millions of others listening. So a great morning to you, Francis. Let's go ahead, guys.
Okay, let's start with the Ghanaian Times, and it's reporting this morning corruption is killing Ghana. This is according to the Auditor General of the Republic of Ghana, Daniel Domilevo. And he said the stomach is what?
The stomach is different.
Okay, so this stomach is really different about corruption in Ghana.
Of course.
But on the other side, Ghana opens book of condolence for Kofi Annan as plans for funeral get underway, and I see the president signing that particular book of condolence there. And there's also another one you should be interested in. Government to open $250 million Terminal 3 of Kotoka International Airport on October 2. Yes, and also you should be interested in a story about police drop treason charge against Koku Anyidohu. All stories on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. I have more. South Africa to open Zuma corruption inquiry. Former President Zuma. Yeah,
it's the Gupta scandal.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you want to say about here?
Yeah, we don't open any inquiry. Anyway, the Zongo chiefs give towards Amasama and Homowo and scale up measures to reduce road carnages. UN envoy urges Africa. Those are the stories on the front and the back pages of the GT, the Ghanaian Times.
Okay. The Daily Guide, Nana hosts Rawlings, and there's a picture of President Akufo-Addo and Vice President welcoming Jerry John Rawlings and his wife Nana Konidu. Unibank directors fight back. Bagbin punches Mahama over Land Cruiser V8 and mansions, among other things. Pastor's wife shouted for 5 minutes, as according to a witness, and that's in reference to the really sad story about the death of five people in Dansoman 2 days ago. Koja Sama mourns Kofi Annan. All sets for Osu Homowo Sports Festival. Nasara chief gives to founders, and Kenichi laments over Adriana loss.
Adriana.
I was so
laments.
proud. Do you realize how proud I was of myself?
Emphasized
When I
on
said
the
Adriana, because I felt like
after
I had
hours
got
of
it.
rehearsal, she delivered.
No, it's because you mentioned the Kenichi effortlessly.
Because that is anyway. But the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning. Diplomatic missions mourn Kofi Annan. Otiko bows out of politics, and that's big one in the corner. But illegal structures demolished to pave way for Tema motorway interchange. And there is the very last one that is at the back page that I can bring to you. Ghana National Fire Service investigates Dansoman fire outbreak. But today is the day Muslims mark Eid al-Adha. I know Eid al-Adha, right?
Yeah, the festival of sacrifice.
Yes, and you know the history behind that, right?
Yeah.
You know who is Ibrahim in the Quran?
Abraham in the Bible when he was going to sacrifice. Well, in the Islamic story, it's Ishmael.
Yes, Ismail.
Yeah.
Yes, and God.
But anyway, good morning to Malik. Malik.
I wanted to bring it to that point, but I know.
No, you are taking long. You are taking long. So let me take you there. Malik, good morning. Malik,
Good morning,
where
Malik.
is our meat?
Yeah.
As for me, I'll get straight to the point.
You are pretending that you are not awake this morning, my brother.
You are awake. You are listening.
We expect you to do the needful.
Yes.
We don't expect you to hide in corners and act like a Tim Russell.
We are in this office till 10:30 a.m. Malik. We are waiting. And a special good morning to Nana Banamwa this morning. Nana Banamwa has changed her name to something Farida Al Hassan or something like that.
With the intent to do what? Attract the goodies that come on the other side.
I don't even know
What goodies come on the other side?
Oh yes, meat and other things. You don't know.
Where other things mean what?
And for the record, my paternal grandfather was a Muslim some time ago, so I still attach and
No,
I'm
wait,
very
he was a Muslim some time ago.
Yes. What is in doubt?
So when did he stop becoming a Muslim?
I'm establishing my connections with, but for my father mainly betraying the standard, I would have been clearly.
You would have been chopping meat by now.
Yes, with the competence to marry for. That's equally substance.
Well, that is it. Good morning to Mrs. Raymond.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Good morning. Yeah.
Miss G, good morning.
Can we do the stories?
No, I just have to do this for fact. The official name for Nana Abba this morning is Farida Al Hassan. So Nana Abba Farida. She says she's not Nana Abba anymore. What is Abba? Abba, that's what? Who is that? I've never heard of that name before. I've really heard tweets. Okay, guys, is that it for the front pages?
Yes.
All right. Anyone begin with us with that controversial story of Alban Bagbin and John Mahama.
Okay, so Alban Bagbin, who is the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament and MP for Nadoli Kalio.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
In the Upper West region, has been speaking this past weekend. He attended a constituency executive meeting in Keta in the Volta region, and he had a lot to say about former President John Mahama. So in the first place, we know that so far six aspirants have declared their intention to contest John Mahama, who has not declared yet, but it's tipped that if he does declare, he will be the one to lead the NDC in the 2020 election. So Alban this is what he's been saying. He says that former President John Mahama sidelined those who helped him to win victory. He says very strongly that former President Mahama contributed greatly to the defeat of the NDC in the 2016 elections. He says that former President Mahama's boys have built houses and have bought Land Cruisers and are generally chilling in life. He says that the youth have been leaving to other parties when NDC was predominantly a youth in quotation marks party, but now they're leaving to join other parties. He also talked about the fact that the IMF of the NDC, which is the Volta region, the voter turnout reduced from 85% to 62%, and that is the fault of former President Rawlings. He said that we should watch and see how... Former President Mahama. He said that we should observe how even former President Rawlings' wife, Nana Konedu, who is the mother of the NDC, has left to form another party, and somehow that is also former President John Mahama's fault. He said that former President Jerry John Rawlings is constantly criticizing the NDC, which is also former President John Mahama's fault. And he said that there's exceeding hostility towards the media from the NDC, which is also former President John Mahama's fault.
You've led me to this question, right? It's your fault I'm asking this question anymore. What is not former President Mahama's fault?
according to the Daily Guide.
Yes.
According to Alban Bagbin, everything is former President John Mahama's fault, and therefore, thus he calls that nobody should support him or be behind him because he's not worthy to lead the NDC in the 2020 general election.
It's interesting. Bagbin raised concerns about how John Dramani Mahama was running the state and access to him when he was MP, and at the time that he was not having access to the man. So he was made a minister. You see the chronology. The concerns stopped along the line, even though he had sometimes said that some presidential staffers and others were preventing him from being accessed. I think he had mentioned Standobe and somebody in times past too in his commentary. But that sounds to me like these complaints only come up when Bagbin is either not in the position or when he's not benefiting from the system, or when he's being made a minister or not. Because when he became a minister, they ceased forthwith. In fact, he joined the system. He was
busy tending to other issues.
Yeah, so he didn't mind what was happening in the system too. Yes, I mean, so it is not his fault. I'm not saying it's Bagbin's fault. I'm not in any way blaming him for enjoying and not complaining. But
please, Alban Bagbin, good morning. Alban Bagbin, as for me, I like you, pa.
Oh.
As for me.
Me too.
I haven't said anything
but
morning.
We all haven't said it. Remember, we haven't said anything. We are just reading from the Daily Guide, though.
Yes.
That is our job as journalists this morning, to deliver what is from the newspapers without favor, without...
Thank you.
Exactly.
Can I move to Otiko now?
But what is the NDC saying about presidential candidates, Raymond?
No, the NDC has raised the red flags now. So please hold on. Everybody cease fire. Because they suspect that if you allow this to continue,
it will get really
the things that will come out in the People's Republic of Ghana will be troublesome. So the NDC is saying they're going to put out guidelines. Please stop attacking each other now. We are going to now open the nominations for you to start the process.
From the 23rd to the 25th.
Brilliant.
So they can attack each other then?
No. He said that they are going to give out guidelines for engagement. This is internal fight. You don't kill each other in internal fights. You actually try to do wonderful and touch each other nicely. So please, Don't go ahead and do the things you're saying. Vituperations and also needless attacks, and please cut them all out. Reserve them for your opponents. This is internal fight.
I am curious to see how they plan on enforcing that particular legislation, legislating what is said on campaign platforms. Anyway, it will be interesting. My Raymond, let's talk about Otiko Hafiz-Ajaba.
Now, the headline which breaks my heart is that Otiko bows out of politics. Now, the immediate past Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, firebrand by all standards and qualifications, who was previously the NPP's woman organizer. And she actually left her position and took up the position of minister after the party won the election, says that after 13 years, she's taking a long break. And this long break will be from active politics so that she could enjoy life with her children. You know that when the president did the reshuffle, she was moved to being Ghana's ambassador to Italy. Yeah. And she was supposed to be preparing to go. That is 2 weeks ago. But she's made it clear that she has written to the president and declined the offer, that she would rather be with her family. And there's an important part, and this is also I'm not sure you knew the very extraordinarily caring part of her in this case. She also explained that one of the reasons why she actually declined the offer was because her former husband had stroke for the past 6 years. And in quote, she's the one who has been taking care of him since he got sick and cannot abandon him now and go anywhere else. And this is former husband, not current husband.
Okay.
So
she's been taking care of him for 6 years.
For 6 years, even after the marriage. And the other thing that's also been happening is that the kids need their mother around, regardless of how old they are, and that she's going to be available to deal with family matters and not necessarily go out there to represent the people of this republic in the state of Italy in this case.
You know, the choices that women have to make when they're entering politics, of course, we wait to see if any other developments come out of this story.
She's 56.
Yeah.
I mean, she's worked for a very long time. She worked in women development for some time. She worked in politics too, and done all of those things. So she's bowing out now.
Years.
I doubt if she'll come back.
Yeah, but the question is she bowing out because of the switch, or would she have bowed out anyway?
If the reshuffle did not happen.
Had, yes,
well,
exactly.
She says that she can't stay in Italy and take care of her sick
so
ex-husband, so it's directly linked.
A position in Ghana here, it would have been,
But can he travel in his states to Italy? I mean, it's what I'm saying is that the reason she's given, it's clear that it's directly linked to this change in position. Yeah. But is there more to the story? Maybe we wait to see. But anyway, let's talk about some of the difficulties that women face in politics.
You remember, I can't remember exactly who said it, but I remember when the whole Charlotte Osei-Jean-Mensah thing came up.
Yep.
And on the review, we talked about, was it Alban again?
It was Alban Bagbin.
Who talked about the fact that...
you mean the Honorable Alban Bagbin?
Yes, who talked... I apologize. Who talked about women, being easy. Why are you not talking, Raymond?
I'm not mentioning that Barbara's name again. Okay. Please continue.
So anyway, we're kind of still in that vein. So the research by the International Republican Institute on Females has shown that a lot of women in Ghana do not want to get involved in politics for fear of insults and being tagged as prostitutes. So there were two groups of people that took part in the focus group, the NDC, members of the NDC and members of the NPP. And they had this discussion. What came out is that it appears as though there's a higher ethical and moral bar for women than men. Obviously, there have always been these double standards and what is expected from men and what is acceptable from women. But due to these this disparity in what is expected from expectation, a lot of women don't want to go into it. Also, a lot of women are afraid for their lives, for their families, because of rivalry and just general intimidation and stuff like that. So women don't want to go into it.
Politics.
Yes.
Quite difficult for such women.
And it's preposterous. The standard for political engagement is very low in this country. Yeah. But it looks like for the woman, it's extremely high for some reason, as if you need to be. And the question of competence only comes in when it comes to women. Whenever questions be raised, is she competent?
And when women are in politics, their competence is extended to how many children they have,
whether they're married, how they behave, what they wear, their hairstyles.
It's okay anymore. We know you are passionate about the subject. Let's move.
Okay, so I need to bring you this particular story. And Moses Fuamani, who leads the group, which is actually helping people to reform and stay away from homosexuality, says clearly that there are 400 people who have come to them for counseling. these 400 are people who identified as homosexuals in various forms and across the country, who are now saying that they know they have a problem. Regardless what the problem they are having, they now want counseling to be able to come out of the problem. He, Moses Famani, has always maintained, as was previously the case with the American Psychological Association, that homosexuality is actually a misnomer. It's not the normal or natural course of engagement. It's, if you want to say, a disease condition. So people can be talked or treated out of that particular position. That's what Moses insists in this particular case. And it is gratifying to him to know that 400, and I didn't know that there were that many anyway, but 400 have actually agreed to some form of counseling
themselves,
so that they, yes, they can move away. It is the hope of the group that more people will join this grouping, so that the right kind of information that's required on that plate is given them.
Right.
And this is the good news he's giving us for the day.
It is great that they want to do so themselves, but in fairness, we can only make that analogy when they can actually say that they have stopped being homosexuals after this treatment. But kudos to him in the work he's doing. Anymore, finally,
so Mr. Casey Hayford has been speaking on a matter that I personally am very interested and passionate about, and it's about the in-camera hearing for the banking sector inquiry thingy that will be going on between the 3rd and the 5th of September. He says that there is no point hiding the conversations or the inquiry from the public, because in the first place the whole story has been driven by the public. We have a lot of the information already, so there's really no need to hide it. If you remember, Mr. Forson, who's a ranking member, did say that because it's a very sensitive issue, they would prefer that these meetings are held behind closed doors and the media will be briefed before and after each session, and so we will be made aware of what's going on. But one more person agreeing with our cause, and the hashtag is Let Us See, because we really do want to know exactly what happens and what goes on.
Right, thank you very much, Enimwa. Thank you very much, Raymond. We would move online now, and the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle, good energy, and download the Safe Doctor app now from the Google Play. Safe Doctor, the future of better medical care. You've got great love for your vehicle. You want the engine to last longer and perform to its maximum. It's okay. Goyle has the new super synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubricants for you. These specially engineered superior engine oils work efficiently on all modern petrol and diesel engines. They clean, protect, reduce fuel consumption, prolong oil change intervals, and enhance engine performance from startup till you switch off. Go to any Goyle filling station and grab the new Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Engineering innovation for your vehicle has arrived. Goyle, good energy. Now, the Skills Development Fund invites all micro, small, and medium enterprises across the country to apply for grant support to improve the capacity of their workforce for enhanced productivity and competitiveness. Public and private training institutions are also invited to apply for support to develop innovative training content for the private sector. The application window is open till 31st August 2018. That is drawing close. Enterprises in agribusiness and renewable energy sectors and those owned or managed by women are especially encouraged to apply. To apply, visit sdfghana.org. Skills Development Fund, Skilling Ghana for sustainable development. Now, looking for a bank that will help you fulfill your financial aspirations? Then choose Zenith Bank. We have products and service offerings that are customized specifically to meet your banking needs. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide. Talk to us via our 24-hour contact center on 0302 680 884 or 0542 000 111. Chat with us on ZChat, our live chat service on zenithbank.com.gh, or contact us on our Facebook and Instagram pages for our expert advice. Achieve your aspirations with Zenith Bank because we care. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Let's start with myjoyonline.com. Government failure to pay contractors cause of banks collapse. Bagbin, Alban Bagbin speaking there. Bagbin is asked to destroy NDC, not lead it. Kofi Adams, national organizer of the NDC, speaking there. BBC says 70 arrested in pro-Bobby Wine protests. remember when we're talking about Bobby Wine, the Afrobeat singer who is running for MP in Uganda, standing up to Yoweri Museveni. Zuma corruption claims South Africa state capture inquiry begins. And that's the story that Raymond, you mentioned, was in one of the newspapers this morning. So we'll take these important messages and then we'll make way for the BBC News at 7, after which the Super Morning Show continues. I am Daniel Daze. Stay with us.
This was Kwame's Life before Interplus in Green